Yes, good afternoon. Sav here from Football Heritage TV. So the transfer window is coming to a close. I believe there's something like at the time of recording this, about 34, 35 hours to go, maybe a little bit less. And Tottenham Hotspur are one of the only teams in the Premier League that have actually laid out a decent amount of money on a player. If we look at the signing of Dragoshin for 25, 26 million, whatever it was, and then obviously the signing of Timo Werner on loan. Lots of talk over the last sort of 24, 48 hours on TalkSport and Sky Sports and all these different publications saying, have Spurs won the transfer market? Now, I don't understand this. What does winning the transfer market mean? It seems like it's something that fans, not just Tottenham fans say this from all clubs every window. Oh, they won the window. They won the window. I remember after the 7 signings with Antonio Conte, it was Spurs have won the transfer window. Then a few months later, when it's not going so well, it was, oh, well, what do you expect? He wasn't backed. I was like, well, hang on, you said we'd won the window. So I don't quite understand what it means. For me, I'm going to say it. I think the window's been okay. I mean, for me, I think we did a bit on our show this morning where I asked the question to people and said, when we're judging transfer windows, when we're judging signings, when we're defending players, the likes of Skip and Brennan Johnson and the Richarlisons and the Royals and the Dyers and the Davises, these types of players and the Højbjergs, the question I always want to ask people is, what is it you want from Tottenham Hotspur? What is it that you want from Tottenham Hotspur as a fan? What is it that you want the club to be? Because if I sit here and say top 4 is the best thing ever, I don't care about ever winning the league or winning trophies, top 4, brilliant, then what we're doing is fantastic. But if I sit here as a fan and say, I want to win titles, give me 3 years, I want to win titles, I want to win Champions Leagues, I want to win FA Cups, right? Then what we're doing is not fantastic because it's about what you want to be. And what you want to be then translates in who do you want to buy. Now, this leads me nicely into the Dominic Solanke rumours that have come up in the last 24 hours. Now, I don't know. I've not seen anybody of note, anybody of real note. I haven't seen an Ornstein or a Romano so far say, yeah, Spurs have contacted Bournemouth. They're going to put some money on the table. They want to take him. Now, Dominic Solanke is a decent striker. He's a decent striker, sure. Is it the worst signing Spurs could ever make? No. Would he score some goals throughout a season for us? Yes. But I'll come back to that question. What do we want to be? What's our ambition? What's our aim as a football club? Because if it is Brennan Johnson's, Dominic Solanke's, Manor Solomon's, if it is these players, then we've got to stop with the title talk and what Ange can build and he's going to win you titles and the dynasty and Champions League. We've got to stop all that if these are the types of players that fans are happy with. Now, I would say if Tottenham had Harry Kane up front, Sonny there as well, and you brought Solanke in and he was a third choice or he was rotating, sure. But we're talking about a club here that need a centre forward. And the rumours and reports are it's Dominic Solanke. Now, don't get me wrong. I don't believe this story at all. But it's the reaction from some fans where they go, good signing. Good signing. Much better than what we've got. And this takes you back to, if he is better than Richarlison, I'm not going to have that debate here. If he is better than Richarlison, like people were telling me on my show this morning, should the answer be, well, he's better than what we've got and that's all that matters? Is being better enough? Or do you want to go, well, we've got Richie, you've got levels here, and then you've got a player who's up here. What do we want to be? So I'm just asking you guys and girls, I'm asking you all, what do you want to be? Because I feel like the club, the fan base really are at loggerheads with their own theories. 1 minute it's we want to win league titles, we want to win trophies. The next minute it's we want to celebrate signing average footballers. And the problem is what we've done throughout the last 10, 15 years is we've made some good signings. Of course we had. We've signed many good players, but we've filled those players around around those players, we filled it with average buys. And the problem is, if you are having too many average players in your squad, you are carrying a lot of footballers. And if you are carrying a lot of footballers, more often than not, those clubs do not win the big pots. They do not win the big trophies. City and Liverpool hardly carry anyone, if anyone at all. They're the teams that have been winning trophies. Chelsea, throughout their heyday, weren't carrying many bad players at all. So again, I'll ask you, what do you want to be? Let me know in the chat without the abuse. Just let me know in the chat. We did this morning. What do you want to be and in what time frame? So for example, by 2026, I want to be league champions. By 2027, I want to be Champions League win. Whatever it is you feel that you want, let me know. And then let me know what you think you need to get there. Is it 2 top players? Is it 4 or 5 top players? What do you think we are? What do you think we want to be? And how do we get there? Now, I've talked about have Spurs missed a trick in this market. Now, as I've said already at the beginning of this video, I think the transfer window's been meh. I mean, listen, Dragashin in as another centre-half is good business. It is good business. We needed more defenders, but for me, and again, this might sound cynical, this should have been done in the summer. That deal for me was 6 months, a year too late. Should have been done in the summer, because we've already missed having that player in for the last 6 months. So that's a decent signing for me. I like him as a player. I think he's going to be brilliant for Spurs next year when we're in Europe, when we're playing in 4 competitions. 4 competitions we're playing in next year. We will have European football, League Cup, FA Cup and League. And that could possibly be anywhere between 55 and 60 games for the season, depending on how far we proceed in each competition. To have that many games, as Newcastle would have found out this year, and Brighton and Villa, as the Liverpools, the Arsenals, the Cities who are used to it every year, you need squads. You need to build a squad. And that next year is where I think you'll start to see Dragashin come into his own. You need another defender there for me as well. And you use Liverpool as the benchmark this year in Europe. Liverpool this year at centre-half have had to play Joe Gomez, Konate, Van Dijk, Matip, Jarrell Quansah. They've had to use 5 different centre-halves. And we're going to need that next year. We're going to need that if we're in Europe. So for me, it's been an okay window. Everyone knows I'm not enamoured with Werner. I hope he scores a few goals. Of course I do. But listen, even average players score a few goals. For me, a very reactionary panic signing early in the window for me. And I think it just shows that the ambition isn't quite there. Other people will say it's difficult to do things in January. But for me, if you go and put the money down, clubs will listen. And this is what leads me on to, have we missed a trick? People will say it's difficult to do deals in January, but FFP is kicking a few clubs' backsides at the moment, and they are scrambling around, needing to sell players, needing to make money. Tottenham are not in any trouble with FFP. We're nowhere close to it. I feel like we could probably go and spend 300, 400 million and be nowhere near it. I'm not sure it's that much, but you know what I mean, being a bit facetious. So with that in mind, I would have thought that we could have gone out this window and really tested the resolve of a Newcastle, of a Villa, of an Everton, of a Chelsea, of a Nottingham Forest, gone out and tested their resolve to get a really good player through the door and say, hey, we've got money. You're in trouble with financial fair play. We know it's January. There's the money. Give us the player. But we haven't. And this is all the reports I've seen, all of the articles. I'm seeing loads of articles about Spurs fans falling in love with Levy again because of the FFP long game that he played. No. Let's be brutally honest. The FFP long game, if you want to call it that, and us not spending money, not spending as much money as the other clubs to be in that position of financial difficulty, only means something if we capitalise on it. If we go out there and get a few players that other clubs can't afford at the moment because we've got the financial stability to do it, then you turn around and go, to be fair, we've been allowed to do that because we've been frugal. But just sitting there and saying, FFP Kings, FFP champions, what does it actually mean? We've not capitalised on the pitch. We've not bought what we need. So for me, look, Again, this isn't by the way, lots of people will misconstrue that I'm sitting here saying I'm not happy with Spurs. That's not the case. I'm happy with how we're going. Do I think we've shown ambition? I don't at the moment, no. But listen, for me, I just think we missed a little bit of a trick in this transfer market. And I'm interested to know what you guys and girls think. Now, as with any video that you do, 50% of them will come back and berate me and go, oh, you're this, you're greedy, you want it all now, blah, 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 blah. The other 50% will probably come back and go, yeah, you're spot on. We should have done this, should have done that. All I'm going to say is this. Rome wasn't built in a day. No, but that doesn't mean that you don't capitalize from a position of strength. And at the moment, Spurs, for me, are in a position of strength and should have capitalized a little bit more. Let me know your thoughts. Thank you for the likes. Thank you for the subscribers. We'll be back live tonight at 6 p.m. for all the build up to Tottenham versus Brentford. By the way, I'm going to go with 3-1 to Spurs. I think listen, forget whether I'm positive, negative, we have to win tonight. Arsenal winning last night. We've got to win or we are 6 points behind them and the gap starts opening. We have to win tonight. I'm going with 3-1 Spurs. I do worry about our forward line, but Johnson, Richarlison, and Werner, they've got to step up to the plate tonight. They've got to step up to the plate. And we can't keep carrying them in games. They've got to step up. Much love. Take care. And as always, come on, you Spurs.